For the first question, which is the healthcare question enacted in Congress, first I will say that I am accepting of universal coverage as a noble cause. There must be a minimum standard of care for all Americans. It is the responsibility in a modern technological society that we have today that everybody gets health care. I would vote to repeal all provisions that permit government agents to interfere with the privacy of the doctor-patient relationship and any medical decisions. They do not belong there. There should be freedom for all patients to choose programs outside of Medicare or any other government plan if they have the means to do so. There's no sense taking somebody who has money and making the government pay for them. They can fend for themselves, that's great. I think we should allow them to do that. Programs need to be funded through user fees or possibly endowments as an idea. We should be rewarded for our hard work, and we should not be punished if bad things happen to us. We should not be taken advantage of as a society, meaning people need to contribute to the system, and if you have a need, we will take care of you. Private organizations and charities should be encouraged to help cover shortfalls. In the powerful model, we see the government makes the rules and sets the priorities. We have little or no input, and a majority of us don't like it. Government picks the winners and the losers, and that's not right. That's the power model. That's what we're under today. In a cooperative model, medical professionals and citizens should develop the standard of care and set the priorities. We need to reform the laws in order to get health care affordable. We need to deliver care that is more efficient and more effective, and that's not done by the federal government. The government should only be an enforcer and not a player in our healthcare system. When we come up with a standard, when we develop the rules as citizens, then we count on them to make sure that everybody plays fairly by the rules. That's how government's supposed to work. For question number 2, entitlement programs and Social Security. We have 2 major political parties. One wants to pay for everything and everybody. One wants to shift priorities rather than reform and then say, fend for yourself. We cannot afford to pay for every program and a constant expansion of the government. However, we can afford to pay for reforms if we shrink the government. I would suggest maybe a private actuary to manage individual Social Security accounts. Each citizen would get an account. They could pass it on to a family or beneficiary of their choice. We would make everybody whole. And they ask, how does it get funded? And this is not a new idea, but we cooperate. We take government assets. We've got shipyards, and government has property all over all 50 states that they've acquired by whatever means, probably used our Social Security money to buy some of it. I think we should start selling that land into the private sector and recover that money for our Social Security and for our citizens. Everybody has to contribute. There's always going to be people who fall below the line, and we as Americans must take care of them. How do we continue to sustain the program? Income for any entitlement program requires an economy. Everyone will contribute to the system. Workers must provide revenue. We must have a market. We must generate, move cash and capital. And we must sustain a healthy and a productive economy. And again, this gets back to the concepts of individual responsibility, but also there's group responsibility. We take care of each other. This is an American family. We shouldn't be divided up by class and other means that happens to us. We're all in this together. Again, this is about the power in the cooperative model. The government making the decisions, or we the people. That's the choice. Question number 3. Do you have a specific approach to the nation's energy policy? How can we best achieve independence? I would support federal legislation that would allow homeowners to build energy-efficient homes. Let them implement energy-saving strategies. Let them tie into the grid and put that power back into the grid if there's excess. We've got local companies like Cascade Engineering here in Grand Rapids that build small wind generators. Why not put one on every home through the private sector? If a homeowner wants one, they should be able to put it up. Energy-efficient home regulations must be reformed. Again, government force and coercion has forced rules and regulations on us that are limiting our ability to build homes that we want to build that are efficient. We all want to have efficient homes. We should be able to build them. Let's streamline the regulations and prevent local codes and ordinances to interfere with property owners' access to reach goals of net zero. Net zero is possible. I belong to an organization called ASHRAE that is moving forward to a net zero design where a home will be able to sustain itself. It's happening around the world, and it is possible here. I say we move away from big government, big energy, and big utilities. Big government, big business, and politicians have selfish interests that interfere with our freedoms. Small business with freedom and free markets is a much better alternative. Again, this is the power model versus the cooperative model. We the people can always do it better than any old government. Independence is important because I don't want control over my life, and I know you don't want to be controlled either. Question number 4, what solutions would you like to see in reducing the deficit? So where are we spending our money now? Military power. This year's federal budget is proposing $12 billion to go to foreign militaries. We spend millions and billions of dollars on ongoing wars and foreign aid. We have companies or countries like Germany, France, and Australia, and Korea, who do business in this country, and we're paying for their military bases. Why is that? Those countries are prosperous, and they should be able to pay for their own military bases. We don't need to be there. The United Nations, they're trying to take over our sovereignty. We give them a majority of the money, we do all the heavy lifting, and guess what? We get criticized from them. Matter of fact, in foreign aid, we give a lot of money to foreign countries, and then they come over to our Congress and criticize us Americans. I say if you want to criticize us, don't take our money, and then we'll listen to you. But if we're giving you money, I don't want to hear about it. The EPA, for example, is having a huge impact on the local and Michigan economy and the national economy. The EPA makes rules as they go. The Supreme Court basically gave them this power. There's virtually no constitutional oversight on anything they do. They are limiting small businesses. They can come in and close your small business just by showing up. They are stifling the ability of the entrepreneur to create and build manufacturing businesses in this economy. They're driving manufacturing jobs not only out of Michigan, but they're driving them out of our country. And how do we bring manufacturing back into the country and rebuild the economy like everybody proposes if we don't allow them to come in and work with us to build a manufacturing base? Because they're all polluting, they're all dirty, we can't have them, we don't want them. We drove them out of the country. How do we get them back? How do you be competitive under those conditions? Again, this is the power model of the federal government lording over our wills, making decisions that we don't like. And I say it's time to go back to a more cooperative model where we, the people, make the rules. Thank you.
Thank you, James.